Hello and welcome to International American University's new student orientation. In this video, we'll provide a brief overview of the essential topics that every student should be familiar with as they navigate their academic journey with us. First, we'll look at academic policies. These are the guidelines that will help you stay on track with your coursework and degree progress. Next, we'll discuss internships. Practical experience is a key part of your education, and will cover the requirements and approvals needed to complete your internship successfully. We'll then move on to financial policies, outlining the essentials for managing tuition payments and other related matters. Finally, for those of you who are F1 students, we'll review the specific policies that apply to you. If you're not an F1 student, feel free to skip this section. It's designed to help F1 students maintain their visa status and comply with U.S. immigration laws. This overview will set the stage for a deeper dive into each of these topics. Let's get started. Let's start with academic policies. The academic calendar is an essential resource that will guide you throughout your time at IAU. This calendar is your go-to for important deadlines, including tuition due dates, holidays, school closures, and the start and end dates of each session. Keeping track of these dates will help you stay organized and on top of your academic responsibilities. You can easily access the calendar online at www.iaula.edu/calendar. Make sure to bookmark this page and refer to it regularly. Now, let's review the course registration process. First, the Office of Student Support will email you 1 month before the start of the semester with instructions to register for your classes. Next, you must respond to the Office of Student Support with your selected courses to complete your registration. Lastly, once you've registered, the Office of Student Support will send you a course registration form detailing the courses you've enrolled in. Remember that you are responsible for enrolling in the courses. Failure to register by the session start may incur late fees, risk withdrawal, and termination of your CVIS record. Make sure to check the academic calendar for all deadlines. Now that you've registered for your courses, let's go over some important guidelines for making any changes to your schedule. Here's how the timeline works. Weeks 1 through 2, you can add or drop classes freely. In the first 2 weeks of the session, you have the flexibility to revise your courses if needed. Keep in mind that attendance from one class doesn't carry over to a new one. If you drop a course during weeks 1 through 2, you'll need to add another course to maintain your full course load. You can update your registration up to 3 times without any cost, but any changes beyond the third will incur additional fees. Between weeks 3 through 6, if you're considering withdrawing from a course, you must first get approval from your academic advisor. If you do withdraw, you'll receive a W mark on your transcript indicating the withdrawal. Your refund will be based on the specific week you withdraw, as outlined in your enrollment agreement. Finally, if you withdraw between weeks 7 and 8, you'll receive an F on your transcript, and no refund will be provided. By following these guidelines, you can make informed decisions about your course schedule while protecting your academic progress and finances. Let's go over the attendance policy for your hybrid classes. Each class is divided into 2 cohorts, Cohort A and Cohort B. If you're in Cohort A, you'll attend on-campus classes during weeks 1, 3, 5, and 7, and complete online work during the even weeks. If you're in Cohort B, you'll come to campus during weeks 2, 4, 6, and 8 with online sessions on the odd weeks. Attendance is crucial. Not only does it affect your grade, but it also impacts your visa status. You need to attend more than 50% of all class meetings to stay in good standing. If you're absent 4 times, you'll be withdrawn from the course and receive an F grade. Lastly, if you happen to arrive late, make sure your professor marks you as present so your attendance is recorded properly. Let's review the inactivity policy for IAU online courses. If you don't show significant activity in a course within the first 4 weeks, you may receive an F for that course. The instructor will determine what counts as significant activity. To ensure you stay on track, it's important to maintain satisfactory academic progress by actively participating in your classes. If you have any questions, start by contacting your professor. If you don't get a response within 48 hours, please resend your email and cc acd@iaula.edu. Now let's go over the requirements for satisfactory academic progress, or SAP. SAP is determined by 3 key criteria. The first is maintaining a minimum cumulative grade point average, or CGPA. For undergraduate students, the minimum is 2.00. For graduate students, the minimum is 3.00. Second is course completion rate. You need to complete at least 67% of the courses you attempt each term. Lastly, program completion timeline. You must stay on track to complete your program by the designated end date. If you have any questions about your academic progress, please reach out to us at ssp@iaula.edu. If a student doesn't meet satisfactory academic progress, they will be placed on academic probation, or AP. This status requires the student to attend academic advising. Conditions for academic probation include raising the CGPA by a specified deadline, retaking and passing failed courses, and enrolling in courses during the summer. F1 students will face travel restrictions and have their CPT privileges revoked. Failing to meet these conditions after 3 consecutive semesters on AP will lead to administrative withdrawal from the program and termination of the SEVIS record. Let's discuss the importance of writing formatting, particularly in a professional setting. The American Psychological Association style is the widely accepted writing format for business professionals. It's valued for several reasons. The first being clarity. APA style ensures your writing is clear and easy to understand. Second is uniformity. It provides a consistent structure across your work, which is essential in a professional environment. Third, professionalism. Following APA guidelines reflects a high standard of professionalism in your writing. Lastly, proper citation. APA style ensures that all sources are correctly cited, giving credit where it's due and avoiding plagiarism. If you need assistance with your writing, our Writing Center coordinator is here to help. Be sure to visit our Writing Center webpage for additional resources. Let's go over the policy for assignment deadlines and late work. Complete assignments on time according to the deadlines posted in the syllabus. It's important to submit your work by these deadlines. Each instructor has their own late work policy, so make sure to ask about this on the first day of class. Keep in mind that not all professors will accept late work. The decision to accept or deny late submissions is at their discretion. Start working on assignments early to avoid any last-minute issues. The syllabus provides all the details, so don't wait until the last minute. The only generally accepted reason for late work is hospitalization with documentation. Other reasons like vacations or work commitments are not considered valid excuses. By following these guidelines, you'll help ensure your assignments are submitted on time and you avoid any potential issues with late work. Next, we need to address a critical topic: academic dishonesty. Academic dishonesty is strictly prohibited, and it's important to understand what constitutes dishonest behavior. Here are some examples. Completing work on behalf of someone else. This is not allowed under any circumstances. Plagiarism. This involves using someone else's ideas without giving proper credit to the original author. Submitting someone else's work as your own. Whether it's an assignment, a project, or a paper, turning in someone else's work as your own is dishonest. Fabricating sources or information. Making up sources or providing false information is a serious violation. To ensure academic integrity, we use Turnitin, a plagiarism detection tool integrated with Moodle. It generates similarity reports that allow professors to see if any part of your work has been copied from other sources. The consequences are serious: deducted points, failed assignments or courses, dismissal from the program, and for F1 students, termination of your visa status. Always prioritize honesty in your work. Now let's discuss what to do with your completed assignments. We highly recommend that you save all of your completed assignments. You are responsible for keeping copies of all your own assignments. IAU does not save these files after the course ends. Make sure to download your assignments from Turnitin once your professor has provided feedback. These downloaded files will include similarity rates, grades, and professor comments. Finally, Remember that you might need these saved assignments if you apply for a change of status or other official processes, so be sure to keep them for future reference. Now let's start with the internship graduation requirement. Students in degree programs must complete at least 2 internships. These internships need to be directly related to your degree to ensure relevant professional experience. Internship documents must be submitted for university approval. This process ensures that your internships meet our academic standards and contribute meaningfully to your education. Students may also fulfill the internship course requirement through prior relevant work experience by participating in the prior experiential learning program. To learn more about this option, please contact pel@iaula.edu. For F1 students, we'll cover specific internship policies later on during the section on F1 policies. Our Office of Career and Alumni Services is dedicated to supporting your career journey. We offer a range of services, including resume workshops to help you craft the perfect resume, and a biannual job fair where you can connect with employers from our network. We also provide support for job interview preparation and job search assistance to help you find the right opportunities. To learn more about our career services, contact csv@iaula.edu. Now let's review our financial policies. All the key dates concerning tuition due dates are listed in the academic calendar, so be sure to review it regularly. For new students, your first monthly installment payment amount is listed on your enrollment agreement. For new F1 students, your first tuition payment covers the entire first year and is due before your program begins. After your first year, monthly payments are due on the 10th of each month. It's important to stay on top of these payments, as failure to do so may result in your withdrawal from the university and the termination of your CVIS record. Now, let's talk about the different ways you can pay your tuition. We offer several payment methods to make it as convenient as possible for you. You can pay online using a credit or debit card. However, please note that there is a 2.49% card processing fee for all online card payments. We also accept personal checks, money orders, cashier's checks, and bank wire transfers. If you prefer to pay in cash, you'll need to make an in-person appointment. For any questions or more details on tuition due dates and the payment process, feel free to reach out to the Office of Student Finance at fin@iaula.edu. Now let's go over our F1 policies. Please note, this section is specifically relevant to F1 students. If you're not an F1 student, you can skip this part of the presentation. For those who are F1 students, this information is crucial for ensuring that you remain in compliance with your visa requirements. Let's get started. As an F1 student, it's essential to report any changes to your personal information or immigration status within 10 business days. If you move to a new physical address, change your email address, or update your phone number, you must submit the Update Information Request form as soon as possible. Additionally, if there's a change in your immigration status, such as getting married or applying for H-1B, it's important to inform us promptly. For any inquiries about changes in status, please reach out to the Office of Student Support via email. Keeping your information current helps us support you better and ensures that you remain in compliance with your F1 status requirements. Let's talk about the Form I-20, which is a crucial document for your status as an international student. Form I-20s are issued for several important reasons. When you're admitted to a new program, for registration every mandatory semester, for curricular practical training, for reduced course load approval, and for travel endorsements when you plan to leave and re-enter the United States. It's very important that you keep all copies of your Form I-20s throughout your time at IAU. These documents are essential for maintaining your F1 status and may be needed for future reference, so make sure they're stored safely. If you have any questions or need to request your Form I-20, email iss@iaula.edu. Now, let's talk about maintaining your academic status as an international student. It's important to understand and adhere to these key requirements. First, let's talk about mandatory semesters. Fall and spring are required for all students, while summer becomes mandatory if it's your first or last semester, or if your CGPA is below the minimum requirement. Next, ensure you're enrolled in a full course of study every mandatory semester. For undergraduate students, this means taking 12 units or 4 courses. For graduate students, it's 9 units or 3 courses. Next, focus on your academic performance. It's essential to pass your classes and maintain the minimum CGPA. That's 2.0 for undergraduates and 3.0 for graduate students. You need to maintain SAP to stay in good standing. If you don't meet SAP, you'll be placed on academic probation. Be aware that if you're on academic probation for 3 consecutive semesters, it could lead to withdrawal from the university and termination of your CVIS record. Lastly, attending classes is crucial. Staying on top of these requirements will help you successfully complete your program and maintain your F1 status. Let's go over how to meet your full-time enrollment requirement as an F1 student while managing different course types. The Student and Exchange Visitor Program, also known as CVIP, allows you to take 1 online course per semester to count towards your full-time enrollment. However, the rest of your courses must be taken on campus. There are 2 types of courses to be aware of. Hybrid courses. These require you to attend classes on campus. Online courses. These do not require any on-campus attendance. Once you've met the full-time requirement, you can then add more online courses to your schedule. Next, we'll discuss some examples of how you can structure your course load to meet the full-time enrollment requirements while balancing on-campus and online courses. Let's discuss how to meet the full course load requirement for undergraduate students, including those pursuing certificates, associate degrees, and bachelor's degrees. Undergraduate students must enroll in 12 units per semester to maintain full-time status. You are allowed to take 1 online course each semester, while the remaining courses must be on campus. Below are 4 options for structuring your classes within a semester to meet this requirement. Option 1. Enroll in only hybrid classes with no online courses. Option 2. Take 1 online course in the first session and the rest of your courses as hybrid classes for the semester. Option 3. Enroll in 3 hybrid classes and 1 online course in the second session. Option 4. Meet the full-time enrollment requirement with hybrid classes and then add extra online courses on top of your 4 classes total for the semester. Now, let's go over the full course load requirement for graduate students, including those in master's and doctoral programs. Graduate students must enroll in 9 units per semester to maintain full-time status. Similar to undergraduates, you can take 1 online course each semester, while the remaining units must be completed through on-campus or hybrid classes. Here are 4 different options for structuring your classes. Option 1. Enroll in only hybrid classes with no online courses. Option 2. Take 1 online course in the first session and complete the rest of your units with hybrid classes for the semester. Option 3. Enroll in 3 hybrid classes totaling 9 units and add 1 online course in the second session. Option 4. Take a 4.5-unit hybrid class in the first session and a 4.5-unit online course in the second session, or vice versa. These options provide flexibility while ensuring you meet the full-time enrollment requirement for your graduate program. Let's move on to medical reduced course load, or RCL. If you're an F1 student who is staying in the US, but cannot enroll in a full course of study due to medical reasons that directly affect you, you may be eligible for a reduced course load. It's important to note that this option is only available for medical issues affecting you personally, not your family members. To apply, you'll need to provide documentation from a qualified medical professional, such as a medical doctor, doctor of osteopathy, or clinical psychologist. Once you have the necessary documentation, the RCL must be approved by a designated school official. If your RCL is approved, please be aware that you won't be able to engage in curricular practical training during this time. When your RCL expires, you must either return to a full course load or apply to renew your RCL. If you take an RCL without proper approval, you will be considered out of status and your CVIS record could be terminated. If you're considering taking a leave of absence and returning to your home country, here's what you need to know as an F1 student. You may be eligible for a leave of absence for up to 5 months if you face challenges like financial hardship, caregiving responsibilities, military service, or medical issues. However, you must receive approval from a designated school official before you leave. Once approved, you must exit the US and your CVIZ record will be terminated while you're away. Before returning, it's important to contact the DSO at least 3 weeks prior to your planned return date to reinstate your CVIZ record. Upon your return, you'll need to resume a full course load. Keep in mind that if you stay outside the US, for more than 5 months, your Form I-20 will expire, and you'll need to renew your CVIZ record to continue your studies. Now let's discuss traveling. When planning to travel outside the US, it's important to follow these guidelines to avoid complications. First, always plan ahead. Submit a travel request to ISS before purchasing your plane tickets. We recommend requesting at least 2 to 3 weeks before your planned departure. This will give ISS enough time to review and approve your request. Travel is typically allowed during non-mandatory terms, like summer if eligible, and during breaks between the fall and spring terms. If you need to travel during a mandatory term due to an emergency, such as a family illness or a medical situation, please contact ISS to request approval. Emergency travel is limited to 14 days. Make sure your Form I-20 is travel endorsed before you leave the country to ensure you can return without any issues. Your program end date is listed on page 1 of your Form I-20. This date marks the official end of your program and cannot be extended without approval from the university. After your program ends, or after the end date of your optional practical training, you have a 60-day grace period to prepare for your next steps. If you need to request an extension for your program end date, please email the Office of Student Support at ssp@iaula.edu. Let's talk about internships and employment for F1 students. As an F1 student, you can fulfill your internship requirement through either on-campus employment or curricular practical training, known as CPT. Both are types of employment authorization specifically available to F1 students. It's important to remember that you cannot work unless you are legally authorized to do so. Working without proper authorization can have serious consequences for your visa status, including termination of your CVIZ record. To learn more about these opportunities and the authorization process, I encourage you to attend our CPT information webinar held during week 1 of every session. You can RSVP by emailing events@iaula.edu. This webinar will provide valuable insights to help you navigate your internship and employment options while staying compliant with F1 regulations. Now let's compare 2 employment opportunities available to F1 students during their program, on-campus employment and CPT. On-campus employment is limited to 20 hours per week and must take place on campus. CPT can be part-time or full-time, often taking place off-campus with an external employer. To participate in CPT, you'll need prior authorization, which must be noted on your Form I-20. Both types of employment require a Social Security number. The Office of Career and Alumni Services is here to assist you in applying for your Social Security number. Additionally, both CPT and on-campus work can help fulfill your internship requirement. Understanding these options will help you effectively balance work and study while maintaining your F1 status. Now, let's briefly discuss optional practical training, or OPT. OPT is a type of employment authorization option for F1 students after completing their program. OPT allows eligible graduates to work in the US for up to 12 months in a field related to their degree. If you graduated from a STEM program, you may be eligible for up to an additional 24-month extension, giving you up to 36 months of work authorization. To learn more about OPT, we offer informational webinars during week 5 of every session. These webinars are a great opportunity to get detailed information and ask questions about the OPT process and how it can benefit your career path. You can RSVP by emailing events@iaula.edu. This concludes the end of the new student orientation video. I want to thank you for your attention and remind you of a few key points. First, stay informed. Be sure to keep track of academic policies and requirements. They're here to guide you on your path to success. Second, seek support. Don't hesitate to use the resources available to you, like academic advising and the Writing Center. We're here to help you every step of the way. Third, prioritize integrity. Adhering to academic honesty guidelines is crucial. The consequences for dishonesty are serious, so always aim to do your best, honestly and ethically. Lastly, plan ahead. Make sure you're on track to meet your academic and professional goals. We're here to support your success, so if you have any questions, reach out to your academic advisor. For more information and resources, visit our website. Thank you again, and best of luck on your academic journey.